In this video, we will start the section of parabola graphs. We will discuss every aspect about parabola, practice examples, attempt exam papers. Just stay closer to this channel. Let us take this sketch and detail everything on this graph. First, this parabola graph opens downwards, which means it took the convex form. The question is, how do we tell that it will take such shape on a given equation to draw a graph? Well, it's simple. Let us refer to this general or standard equation for parabola. When this a is negative, that means the graph will face or open downwards taking convex form. In that case we say, this a is less than 0. But if this a is positive, that means the graph will face upwards or will open upwards taking concave form or shape. In that case we say, this a is greater than 0. Because on this sketch, the graph faces downwards, that means this a of its equation is negative. So, if you were asked to find the equation of this graph, now you will know that if you find the equation with a positive a but facing downwards like this, that means somehow somewhere you got it wrong. This vertex is the turning point of this graph. So, this can be either at lowest, of which is minimum turning point, or at highest point, of which is the maximum turning point. Maximum just means that the graph is facing downwards, and at minimum, the graph is facing upwards. Let us say on the vertex we have x3 and y1, which is the turning point of the graph, and at this point we will name x1 and this one x2. Remember, these points on the parabola graphs are x-intercepts, then this is a y-intercept, we name it y2. We do this naming so it gonna be clear. So, how do we find this vertex on a given equation? First, we have this equation x equals negative b over 2a, or you may say, it is a formula to find the x part on this vertex. We substitute in this formula by the values of the given equation. On this given equation, b is this 6, and a is this negative 1. Then substitute in this formula as so. We get x3 to be 3. Now we use this 3 to substitute x on this given equation. Every part with x we will put this 3 like so. On this equation, we get y1 to be 1. This point where the graph will cut through the y. It is y-intercept. We take the given parabola equation as it is. Obviously x on here is 0, so to get y value, we replace the x with 0, which wherever there is x we put 0. When calculating on here, what you will get, that will be your y value. On this equation, we got negative 8. For these x-intercepts, on these points of the graphs y equals 0. To get the x-axis, we have to factorize the equation, but first, because it has this minus sign on here, we move it by multiplying each term by this minus sign, which gets us this equation to this new equation. Now you factorize to get 2 and 4. Small number of x is for the point closer to the stationary point, and obviously the bigger number is for other point.